How can I, 29M, stop obsessing over a woman, 31F, I've started seeing. Hello everyone. I, 29M, recently met a woman, 31F, and this is the hardest I've ever fell for someone, so quickly. We've spent a few weekends together. She lives kinda far away, but it's an obstacle we've both agreed to overcome. She has shown a lot of interest in building something with me, and I have absolutely no reason to be insecure. It is very amazing. I feel so good with her, everything is right, it's magic. However, I find myself filled with anxiety, and obsessing over every text/email/call we have, and when the next will be. I feel like I have no interest in my own passions, I'm only obsessed with her. I'm worried she'll notice the change in my personality and not be interested. I also know this is unhealthy. I want to stop obsessing, I want to be myself again. I am aware of how ridiculous this is, and that I'm over-romanticizing a new connection. I am aware of this. How do I convince my body/mind to chill the hell out? I am almost never like this. I'm a very private person, my life orients around my passions. I think of myself as very mature in this way and almost never let myself get lost in a relationship. Now I am head over heels for this woman. What do you recommend? Any tips, tricks, activities, meditation? Too long didn't read. I need to stop obsessing over this woman I just started seeing, please help. Falling in love triggers a super potent neuro cocktail that makes you obsessive. It's basically your brain giving you drugs and making you high. It will pass eventually, and either you'll be left with something more deep and abiding and serene, or you'll break up. Try to relax into it and roll with it. It's kind of a special time. Any mediation that helps you neutrally witness urges arising and then fading will help give you a little peace and perspective right now. Don't worry, this feeling won't last forever. If she's feeling it too, it's fun to do it together. I found the book Daring Greatly by Brené Brown to be really helpful when I was going through my intense scary experience with limerence, even though the book doesn't directly speak to what you're experiencing. There is no way you can ruin this relationship by being excited or nervous for it to go well. Promise you. If that little bit of tension or self-doubt or whatever it is you're concerned about results in her breaking up with you, it won't. First of all, just think about how unlikely that sounds, but if it does, then something else would absolutely positively have tanked the relationship. My answer to how to stop obsessing is stop blaming yourself for obsessing. Your feelings are your feelings. I've been in your position, twice. Suddenly feeling invested, suddenly not feeling like the carefree, self-assured person I usually am. Scared I would ruin everything by wanting it too much. One time, the person dumped me. The other time was 2.5 years ago with the man I now live with. What was different in the two scenarios? Freaking everything. Neither thing happened because I got nervous for a bit during the relationship. Thank you. This makes a lot of sense. You sound very similar to me. Can't tell you what it means to feel that bit of empathy. Focus on your own things going on in your life, like your hobbies, passions, work, seeing your family and friends, stuff like that. That will help you to distract yourself from thinking about her all the time. For one, take a deep breath. Okay, you have to realize that the person you was that attracted her in the first place is the person you need to be. You having your own life and passions outside her will actually make her more attracted to you, especially if you make time for her in between. By making her your entire world and spending all your time only on her, you will lose yourself. This is the behavior that will scare her away. You haven't known her long, so just play things cool. Find something else besides her that makes you feel obsessed. Don't wanna do too much too soon with women. Whatever happens, will happen, but you must have a life that doesn't always revolve around her. Dude, she's not going to lose interest in him because he doesn't visit the photography studio or whatever for a week or two in the early stages of their relationship. And he's not going to suddenly become a bad photographer or boring person. He should chill. Limerence. It won't last forever. Try to enjoy it while it lasts. Don't look at it as a negative thing. It's temporary and you only get to experience this a handful of times. Enjoy it. I'm 23 meters, not romantic towards my GF 22F, and she feels our lives are repetitive, and she's right. We've been dating for around 3 years and I've been living with her for the past 2 years. Things used to be great in the beginning of our relationship. We were so in love and never could be separated. She just told me recently that our lives seem very repetitive and that there's no romance anymore. She told me how it feels one-sided, and she's very right. She does a lot for me, but I don't put the same energy doing the same. She's my first GF and we've been together for this long, so in a way I got comfortable with our lives, but she feels lonely, like I don't want her anymore. I basically don't have an ounce of romance in my blood, so whenever I think of romantic things to do for her, I have to think very hard and it stresses me out sometimes. I wish it came natural to me. I love her with my heart and I couldn't see myself with another person. I want her to feel that I want her and that there's a reason to keep this relationship. She says she won't leave me, but I know that this will only get worse and affect her mental health more and more. I do think about her all the time and I want to do everything that I can to surprise her and make her feel loved, but it just doesn't come so natural to me. I don't know why I'm not romantic or why I have to work so hard to do so. I broke down emotionally and cried thinking about it because it's devastating to think she feels this way. TL, doctor, I'm not romantic enough towards my GF and she feels lonely and that our lives are very repetitive. She wants to feel more wanted and I want to do everything I can to make her feel that way, but when I try to be romantic and do things for her I have to think very hard and end up getting stressed sometimes. I love her with my heart and I wish being romantic came natural to me. Unfortunately it doesn't. I want to save this relationship before it's too late. Imagine for a second that your GF is not intrinsically manufactured with the skill set/interest in orchestrating every nice thing in your entire relationship, but rather stresses about these things in the exact same way you do, because it takes effort and energy for any person to do. That's the reality. It's hard for her to carry the entire weight of the relationship all on her own, and you're forcing her to do so by failing to put forth any effort of your own whatsoever. You're telling her that it's her job to do all the hard work because you can't handle it. Is that the kind of partner, or person, you want to be? Simple things count as much as grand gestures. You can pick up a bunch of flowers from the supermarket on your way home from work, take her out to dinner at a restaurant, go to the movies, buy random gifts, small things, for no reason other than to make her happy. These are all low effort, but low effort is 100% better than no effort. No effort kills relationships. The good news is, it doesn't take a lot to jump from no effort to some effort. What's her love language? Meaning, what things make her feel loved? Ask her, maybe take the quiz together. This will also help show how you are taking her seriously and trying to address it. Then, suck it up and stress yourself out for one day. For one day, take her love language, quality time, gifts, etc., and brainstorm a list of different things you think you could do that would make her feel loved. If her love language is gifts, you might have a list like pick up flowers, make her coffee first thing in the morning, write her a card or note. Once you have your list, you can use it to surprise her and create those romantic moments. They don't all need to be fancy dinners at the Eiffel Tower. Just do something to show her you're thinking about her, when she isn't expecting it. That's probably mostly what she's looking for. Romance doesn't have to come natural for someone to be good at it. Long-term love requires work. Not exhausting/grueling work, but work. Effort. People want to feel like you've not forgotten about them and that they've not just become part of the furniture. A lot of the time, romance is just showing/putting in that effort. Plan dates, they can be simple, dinner out and then a walk in the park, or whatever. Surprise her with flowers. Give her little kisses throughout the day. Leave notes around the house for her to find. Write her a letter next time you're apart. Take spontaneous outings together, to the bookstore or IKEA or wherever, and peruse the shop/people watch. Plan, shop for, and cook a new recipe together, etc. It's easy to get complacent. A trap we fall into is we tend to love our partner the way we want to be loved instead of the way they want to be loved. That thinking has been the downfall of a great many relationships. My partner insisted on wearing condoms after I recovered from a medical issue. He hasn't been, but is making it my problem. For context, we are both 20, been together for 2.5 years and have lived together for 6 months. So about 6 weeks ago I started having issues down there that doctors couldn't really treat. I was on antibiotics for something unrelated, but any swabs came back clear, so I was pretty much told just finish your antibiotics and it'll clear up. They were right, it did, and everything's been normal for about 2.5 to 3 weeks. Obviously during this time sex was off the table. I still did BJs, hand jobs etc. So he wasn't deprived. He has a lower sex drive than I do, so to be completely honest this wasn't a problem. The problem came after. When I cleared up he said he wanted to wear condoms for a little bit until we were 100%. I was fine. I have an IUD, so condoms are rarely used. I understood that. We went back to having sex, but he never wore one. We keep our condoms in a drawer about 6 feet from the bed. The drawer also has other sex-related things. IBF is normally the one to get up and get anything from that drawer because we typically start with missionary and it just works like that. Well, he wasn't grabbing a condom, even if he was going over there anyway. I was also getting on top more often than I normally do. Never felt good or confident at it, but I'm getting to a point where I actually enjoy it. My BF has said multiple times after the fact that I should have reminded him to put a condom on. He's also said because I'm getting on top I should go get one. I have some issues with this. 1. I very rarely start on top, and if I do, he's eager to just get started and I don't get the chance. 2. He goes to that drawer anyway. I don't know why he can't grab one while he's over there. 3. He's the one with the issue. He got the all clear from my doctor. He wanted to wear one for peace of mind. When I tell him these things he tells me he gets caught up in the moment and all the blood is somewhere else, so he can't think straight. So I need to just help him out a little and remind him. I did it once, he told me it ruined the moment. I suggested moving the condoms closer to the bed so we can just reach them without getting up, but that would just mean leaving them on the floor next to the bed, and that bit of the room is fully in view if the door is even slightly open. I don't feel like I can win. I don't care whether or not he wears one, but I don't feel like I should be responsible for reinforcing this rule. How can we resolve this issue? This is very out of character. He's normally great and generous in bed and just in general life. Too long didn't read. My BF wanted to wear condoms after I had medical issues. He hasn't been, but is blaming me for not reminding him or getting them myself. I feel like it's not my problem. All the blood is somewhere else, so he can't think straight. Tell him if he loses all ability to reason and make choices when the blood flows to his dick, then you can't have sex with him at all, and he should speak to a medical professional immediately about his erection-induced dissociative state. If he is so incapacitated he cannot remember to put a condom on, then he's too incapacitated to give actual consent at all. I'm only half joking here. If he can't remember that he wants to wear a condom, what other very important thoughts are impossible for him to have? If that is literally true for him, he is not a safe sex partner. But of course, that isn't literally true. That's complete bullshit. Tell him he doesn't get to turn you into an ag because he can't hold to a decision he made. You've told him you're okay with condom-free sex. If he is not, you are happy to respect that, but not take sole ownership of it. If he starts fucking you without a condom, you're going to assume he's consenting to that, because you're going to assume he's capable of consent and choice when he's initiating. That's not unfair in the context of an existing relationship. He's being a bully and a child. If he won't stop having sex with him. We don't fuck bullies or children or people who tell us they aren't capable of rational thought.